College is nestled here on the northernmost part of Jackson, right next door to you, to this building, is what was called the Big House. This was a slave plantation, and we really are doing here what was never expected by the man who owned the plantation, whose name was Bodie. It's called the Bodie Plantation. He had about 25 slaves. We have a very historically wonderful reputation for academic excellence and social responsibility. This is where the civil rights activities actually took place, and people felt comfortable and safe in here. So this is where strategies took place. This is where students came and felt comfortable and free as they fought for the freedom of Black people in America.
All of you in this room have been at this type of work for decades. And so we have the opportunity here in Jackson, Mississippi, to host this robust group of individuals to kind of learn about what we're doing here in Mississippi. So on behalf of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, I want to welcome you.
I'm proud to say that it is the institute named after my father, Medgar Evers, and my mother, Merle Evers. My father was a very strong person who wanted equality for all, and that put him on the hate list and eventually got him assassinated in 1963. My mother is also an activist who has continued to fight for civil rights, and the Institute is to honor them in their legacy, all of their vision, their passion, and the pursuit of justice.
How do we build the next generation of Black male achievement leaders as we do this work? So we've got investments, we're sitting in very privileged seats, and we're moving work on the ground in communities across the country. But are we being mindful of how we're building up the next generation of Black male leaders?
When you're sitting in a room such as this one, there's pain here, there's pain there. That limits you from really totally engaging. So how do we address that?
What is it about this collective? What is it about this network that's special to you?
I think about the folks on the ground. You know, the capacity building efforts are going to be key to this. I think it's just really going to be important to build leadership, effective leadership across the organizations that are deploying the work. We're the funders, you know, we're not the doers. And so we got to get the doers ready. I think that's going to be really key to these efforts.
Land meeting on a former plantation here in Jackson, and the shoulders who we stand on is really prevalent. And so this community sharing, able to be vulnerable, allows me to do as a leader together what I can't do alone.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree. It's all about empowerment. I just joined or just became a member of the Community Connecting Leaders Fellowship with ABFE, and I have to say that's been such a learning opportunity and a space that I've really valued to be amongst other Black folks in philanthropy who are working to move the needle and to empower all of our communities. So.
We certainly have seen enough tragedy over this last year to wake America up and say that my generation and generation of Medgar Evers still has left much to be done. At one point, I think Americans as a whole thought that we had solved all the racial problems. We found out that that is not so.
is reach down on that ground and touch that dirt, or just acknowledge the fact that your feet stand on soil or stories that you will never hear, of lives that have been lost that will never be accounted for, of blood that has been shared for many reasons, and particularly in the state of Mississippi, for so much wrong that's been done under the name of God in the Bible Belt. But people, you know, the thing that they did was they took them and baptized them on the ship, brought them through places like South Carolina, Mississippi, and other places. And like what we're looking at now is families that for the last 50 or 60 years haven't been able to hand down no more than pain and poverty to each other. And like we gotta be able to do something about that. And it is following that continuum of leadership, electing people that we can hold accountable, but also electing them on platforms that recreate and influence. So they're not just accountable to what they telling us they're gonna do, they're accountable to what we told them that we need to have done.
I feel valued in my classroom because I have an African American male teacher who gets me, who talks to me. Nobody's really figuring out what that asset is. When you have X number of black teachers in a school, how do you quantify the impact of that, whether it's qualitative or otherwise?
The Call Me Mr. program is a program that's designed to identify potential teachers. It is specifically developed for African American males, and those males have to commit to becoming elementary ed teachers in schools within Mississippi.
Before I joined the Call Me Mr. program, I was an introvert. I really didn't know what I wanted to do in life. It was just kind of hard to kind of find yourself wandering through life. But being a part of this program has given me personality, it's given me zeal, it's given me passion. Because of the program, I feel like I'm becoming a man, you know, a real man, helping children, helping people, and I feel like, you know, the older I get, the sky's the limit.
My focus is really who are some of the next wave of organizations that are doing this work, that are not able to, at this point, to crack the code of many of our institutions. I feel that CBMA and a number of other partners, we helped to seed this field to get to where we were. Around the same time.
And for all of those foundations that help others, we're forever grateful. And we ask continued support in that area as we move forward into a new time, a new generation, and one where I hope at some point there will no longer be a need to focus solely on race, but it will be much wider in terms of what America says she stands for, but the challenge is still there.